Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at AQA AS Psychology 2016 Paper 1 Exemplar Answers for Attachment, which you need to know for AQA A-Level Psychology. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. Please note that these answers have been produced with knowledge of the mark scheme but have not been approved by the mark scheme themselves. There are 3 assessment objectives, AOs, in psychology. In this video they are color-coded. AO1 Knowledge, purple. AO2 Application, blue. AO3 Evaluation, red and green. In AS there are 12 mark questions, instead of 16 mark questions. For the purpose of this video and to avoid confusion for A-Level, the 12 mark questions have been turned into 16 mark questions. Question 1. Below are 5 evaluative statements about the Romanian orphan research. Which 2 statements are correct? Shade 2 boxes only. 2 marks. The Romanian orphan research is A. Limited because it involves only a few case studies. B. Good because it involves comparison with control groups. C. Scientific because it shows a cause and effect relationship. D. Ethically questionable because it involves separation. E. Useful because it shows long-term effects, not just short-term effects. B. Good because it involves comparison with control groups. E. Useful because it shows long-term effects, not just short-term. Researcher A found that young animals seemed to attach for comfort rather than for food. Researcher B found that mobile newborn animals would follow the first large moving object that they saw. Question 2. Give the name of researcher A and state the type of animal studied by this researcher. 2 marks. Question 3. Give the name of researcher B and state the type of animal studied by this researcher. 2 marks. Question 2. The researcher is Harlow and the type of animal studied in this research is baby rhesus monkeys. Question 3. The researcher is Lorenz and the type do animal studied in this research is baby gooselings. ABI had a happy, secure childhood with parents who loved her very much. She now has 2 children of her own and loves them very much too. The 2 children make friends easily and are confident and trusting. Question 4. Referring to ABI and her family, explain what psychologists have discovered about the internal working model. 6 marks. Bowlby's, 1969, internal working model, forms the basis continuity hypothesis, suggesting that attachments in early life form and act as a template and blueprint for future childhood and later adult relationships. An infant's first relationship with their primary attachment figure leads to the formation of a mental representation or schema of their first relationship. The quality of this attachment is crucial because this will give the infant a template, which will powerfully affect the nature of their future relationships, e.g. friendships, romantic relationship, as a parent. An infant, whose first attachment is a good experience with a loving and reliable attachment figure, will tend to assume this is how relationships are meant to be. They will seek out functional relationships and behave functionally within them, e.g. without being too uninvolved or emotionally close, insecure avoidant attachment, or being controlling and argumentative, insecure resistant attachment. ABI had a secure attachment with her parents, which set out a positive internal working model with positive template and blueprint for her relationship with her own children. ABI's understanding of relationships has been carried forward, so she now has positive secure relationships with her 2 children. ABI's children use their internal working model of the relationship they have with their mother to inform their interactions with other children and use as a positive internal working model, so they make friends easily and are confident. Question 5. Discuss the strange situation as a way of assessing type of attachment. 16 marks. Ainsworth, 1971 and 1978, aimed to investigate whether there were different attachment types between infants and their caregivers in unfamiliar environments, with a specific focus on stranger anxiety, separation anxiety, and reunion behavior. Ainsworth observed a total of 106 9 to 18-month-old infants and their mothers from middle-class USA in a controlled unfamiliar environment through a two-way mirror in a range of situations known as episodes. The strange situations comprised of 8 episodes. Each of these lasted for 3 minutes, except episode 1, which lasted for 30 seconds. Episode 1, Mother, Infant and Observer. Observer introduces mother and infant to experimental room and then leaves. Episode 2, Mother and Infant. Mother is present and passive whilst the infant explores. Episode 3, Stranger, Mother and Infant. Stranger enters. First minute stranger is silent. Second minute stranger converses with mother. Third minute stranger approaches infant. After 3 minutes, mother quietly leaves. Episode 4, Stranger and Infant. First separation episode. Stranger's behavior is geared towards that of the infant. Episode 5, Mother and Infant. First reunion episode. Stranger leaves. Mother greets and/or comforts infant, then tries to engage infant in playing again. Mother then leaves saying bye-bye. Episode 6, Infant. Second separation episode. Infant is alone. Episode 7, Stranger and Infant. Continuation of second separation. Stranger enters and hears her behavior to that of the infant. Episode 8, Mother and Infant. Second reunion episode. Mother enters, greets and then picks up infant. Meanwhile, stranger leaves quietly. Every aspect of the infant's behavior was videotaped, with most attention on the responses shown by infants in relation to separation and reunion behaviors from and with their mothers. 5 categories of behavior were recorded. 1. Proximity seeking. A baby with a good quality attachment will stay fairly close to a caregiver. 2. Exploration and secure base behavior. Good attachment enables a baby to feel confident to explore, using their caregiver as a secure base, i.e. a point of contact that will make them feel safe. 3. Stranger anxiety. One of the signs of becoming closely attachment is a display of anxiety when a stranger approaches. 4. Separation anxiety. Another sign of becoming attached is to protest at separation from the caregiver. 5. Response to unioned babies who are securely attached greet the caregiver's return with pleasure and seek comfort. Every 15 seconds, the category of behavior displayed was recorded and scored on an intensity scale of 1 to 7. Ainsworth identified 3 types of attachment from observation of the infant's behavior during the strange situation procedure. Type A, insecure avoidant. 15% of infants exhibited behaviors associated with insecure avoidant attachment, low levels of stranger anxiety, low level of separation anxiety, indifferent, little response, on reunion, exploration behavior, high levels of independent and low levels proximity-seeking behavior. Type B, securely attached, most desirable attachment type, associated with psychologically healthy outcomes. 70% of infants exhibited behaviors associated with secure attachment, moderate levels of stranger anxiety, moderate levels of separation anxiety, joy and enthusiasm on reunion, exploration behavior, moderate levels of independent behavior and proximity-seeking behavior. Type C, insecure resistant. 15% of infants exhibited behaviors associated with insecure resistant attachment, high levels of stranger anxiety, high levels of separation anxiety, ambivalent on reunion, exploration behavior, low levels of independent and high levels of proximity-seeking behavior. A strength of Ainsworth's strange situation study is that the results can be used to help predict aspects of the infant's later development. Research has shown that infants assessed as Type B, secure, tend to have better outcomes than others, both in later childhood and in adulthood. McCormick et al., 2016, and Kokinos, 2007, found that in childhood this includes better achievement in school and less involvement in bullying. Ward et al., 2006, found that securely attached infants also tend to go on to have better mental health in adulthood. This suggests that the strange situations measures something real and meaningful in an infant's development. This is a strength because it suggests that early attachment patterns have a significant impact on various aspects of an individual's development from childhood to adulthood. A strength of Ainsworth's strange situation study is that it has good inter-rater reliability. Bick et al., 2012, tested inter-rater reliability for the strange situations for a team of trained observers and found a correlation with attachment type in 94% of cases. This high level of reliability may be because the procedure takes place under controlled conditions and because behaviors, such as proximity seeking and stranger anxiety, involve large movements and are therefore easy to observe. For example, anxious infants cry and crawl away from strangers. This is a strength because it suggests that the good inter-rater reliability of Ainsworth's strange situations, as highlighted by Bick et al., 2012, indicates a high level of agreement among different observers in identifying attachment types. The controlled conditions and observable behaviors like proximity seeking and stranger anxiety contribute to this reliability, making it easier for trained observers to reach a consensus on the infant's attachment types. A limitation of Ainsworth's strange situation study is that it suffers from cultural bias. The measurements of attachment as identified in Ainsworth's strange situations may not be valid in different cultural contexts. The strange situation was developed in the USA, which is an individualist, Western society, which suggests that the strange situations may not be able to be generalized to collectivist cultures such as China and Japan. One reason for this is that infants have different experiences in different cultures, and these experiences may affect their responses to the strange situation. Takahashi, 1990, conducted a study in Japan, where mother and infant separation is very rare, and found that a disproportionate amount of infants displayed very high levels of separation anxiety and were therefore classified as insecure resistant. Vanage-Zendorn and Kroonenberg, 1988, conducted a meta-analysis study with infants and caregivers in Germany, where infants are encouraged to be independent, and found that infants were more commonly classified as insecure avoidant. This is a limitation because it suggests that the cultural bias inherent in Ainsworth's strange situation study may restrict its applicability to diverse cultural contexts, as highlighted by the studies conducted in Japan and Germany. The findings from these studies emphasize the necessity of considering cultural variations in attachment research to ensure a comprehensive and inclusive understanding of attachment behaviors across different societies. A limitation of Ainsworth's strange situation study is that it breaks ethical guidelines. The infants were purposefully placed in an unfamiliar setting, in order for the observers to measure their levels of separation and stranger anxiety. This intentionally caused emotional and psychological harm to the infants. 20% of the infants cried desperately or for an extended period of time or an excessive amount at one point or other during the study, showing how they were distressed and highlighting how it is ethically inappropriate to deliberately inflict such emotional harm which goes against psychological ethical guidelines. This is a limitation because it suggests that the deliberate emotional distress caused to infants in Ainsworth's strange situation study raises ethical concerns regarding the well-being of the participants. The distress experienced by a notable percentage of infants during the study, as indicated by prolonged crying, emphasizes the ethical implications of deliberately subjecting infants to emotional harm for research purposes. This breach of ethical guidelines highlights the importance of considering ethical considerations in developmental research involving vulnerable populations like infants. A limitation of Ainsworth's strange situation study is that it has been suggests that the strange situation does not actually measure attachment. Kagan, 1982, suggested that genetically influenced anxiety levels could account for variations in attachment in the strange situation and later development. This is a limitation because it suggests that the strange situation study may not actually measure attachment, but anxiety. This perspective challenges the study's validity in assessing attachment dynamics, indicating a potential focus on anxiety traits rather than genuine attachment relationships, thus questioning the study's ability to provide a comprehensive understanding of attachment behaviors. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.